Hey guys, sorry about that ball squeaking. My dogs are both out. This is Sadie and Riley right there. Those are our two little fur babies. So they're going to be out playing during this video. And the other thing is I'm sure I look different in this video than the last one because I have no makeup on. My hair dried really weird from when I got out of the shower, so I'm probably going to be messing with it a good bit. And my face is breaking out. And so yeah, that's just a great combination. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to give an update. I uploaded my first video blog recently, which is exciting. If you don't really know my story, that kind of just goes through just the basics of kind of my journey the last couple of months, almost past year. And so be sure to check that out. I'm going to be making a lot more added on, but that's just for the meantime. This video is going to be about the procedures that I had done the past 2 days. Because for those of you that don't know or haven't seen my video yet, I had 3 miscarriages in a row this summer and was referred to, because I guess 3 is the magic number in the world of struggling to get pregnant and pregnancy loss to be referred. But so I was referred to a specialist, and they're located in South Carolina, and I'm in Georgia. So when I had my consultation the first time around, they wanted to do the HSG, which if you don't know, you lay underneath like an x-ray table while they insert a dye through your uterus, and it goes through your fallopian tubes, and if there's any blockages, they can see it on the x-ray screen. But during my consultation as well, they thought that they saw like a bend in my uterus or something, and so they said, well, that could just be how it is, or it could be scar tissue left over from all of the losses that you had. So we just want to do a SONO saline HSG as well, just to be sure. And then, of course, we wanted to do all of the blood work. Him and I both opted to get genetic testing done as well, which was something that we had wanted to do in the first place, just because, I mean, we just figured better safe than sorry, and, we're already going through all of this, so why not? So, when I was making the appointment, they were saying that they were going to do, like, the Sono first, and then wait a month for the saline HSG, or the just normal HSG, and I just was kind of like, well, can we just do them all kind of at once? I know that you can't do it in the same day, but can we do them, with like a day apart? And they said, yeah, I don't see why not. There's no reason. And so I pretty much was able to get everything done at once. So Monday morning, just yesterday morning, we woke up and we drove to Charleston, South Carolina. And at 1:30 yesterday, I had my Sono saline HSG. I'm so sorry. I'm going to completely butcher this. But this HSG is when they put a catheter in your uterus or through your cervix, and they put like a little, if I understand correctly, like a balloon, and like use like saline to be able to see like every part of your uterus, just to test or be able to see fibroids, anything like that. So we get there, and I was already really nervous because I'm really bad at getting my blood drawn. Like, until all of these losses, if someone would walk in the room with a needle, I would pass out. So I was really nervous about getting my blood drawn, and they had warned me that it was going to be a lot of blood, which it was, to me at least. It was 10 vials. I had my husband get his done first because he's had all of his testing done, and it came back fine. He's had 2 different sperm analysis done, and they both were fine. And so he had some blood work done last week that came back fine. But they were going to do his genetic testing and all of that done as well. So he got his blood drawn first. And then it was my turn. And for me, they did the hey! Quit! Sorry. Quit it, guys! Okay. So they then did mine, because they were doing the full recurrent pregnancy loss panel, checking my thyroid, because my thyroid was a little bit low with my last loss, checking, to see about lupus, the MTHFR gene mutation, all kinds of different things. So they took those vials, and I did very well. I didn't pass out, which was a huge accomplishment for me. And then they took me to go do the Sono HSG. And I'd been warned, I'd been told different things. I'd been told that the SONO is worse than the normal HSG, and I was told that, but then I was told by some people that it was opposite. So I was kind of nervous. And even when I was there, the nurses said, yeah, we normally hear that the SONO HSG, or the normal HSG, is a lot worse. So, but this one my husband got to go in there with me for. So I was like, okay, guys, that was the worst pain I think I've ever felt in my life. And I mean, it was breathtaking for me personally. I mean, it absolutely took my breath away. I screamed and started instantly like hysterically crying, and I was squeezing Chip's hand like so hard. I was like, this is going to prepare you for when I actually am in labor and I'm squeezing your hand off. So it was really bad. I'm not going to lie. And I had some pretty moderate cramping for the next hour or two. But by that night, last night, I was feeling well enough that we went out and we got to kind of sightsee and all of that, because I didn't want to just, I want to make the best out of it. I've never been to Charleston before, so I wanted to kind of get out and about. Because we decided to stay in a hotel since we were going to have to be back at 8:30 the next morning anyway. And I mean, it's like a 2.5 hour drive from where we live. So I really didn't want to have to make all those trips. So we stayed the night. This morning, I had my normal HSG at like 8:30 this morning. And I was super nervous because I had heard it was worse than even the HSG I had done yesterday. And I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot imagine. I really, truly can't. And it actually was not bad at all. And I was really expecting it to be. But it wasn't bad at all, especially in comparison to yesterday's. But pretty much both tests came back completely normal. I have no blockages. I have no, polyps, fibroids. The bin that they saw was, what are you doing? Hey. I'm so prepared for kids having these dogs, I swear. But everything was clear. I had no blocking in my tubes. I had, nothing wrong at all. So I was relieved to hear that. But at the same time, now I'm nervous because I'm thinking, well, then what about the blood test results? What if something comes back and it's not, it's something, I don't know. I really truly feel like it's going to be something like hypothyroidism runs really deep in my family on both sides. And they told me with my last pregnancy that my thyroid looked low. And so she actually had prescribed me Synthroid for a little bit, but even just taking 25 was giving me such terrible hyperthyroid side effects, and it made my thyroid shoot through the roof. She said, well, maybe your thyroid only dips when you're pregnant. So kind of my theory is that since I'm already, probably borderline with my thyroid, like my mom has it, my dad has it, my grandma on both sides, they have it. I think that I'm already probably borderline hypothyroid. And normally when you get pregnant, they have to adjust your dose because your thyroid normally does have to work a little bit harder to make up for the pregnancy. And I think that mine just, personally, my theory is that mine is borderline, and when I get pregnant, it dips, and around 5-6 weeks, something acts up, and it makes it so that it's not a, good environment for the baby. And so this next pregnancy that I'm going to have them start testing me with my thyroid pretty early on. But in the meantime, just in case I have the MTHFR gene mutation, which is where your body doesn't absorb folic acid the right way, I've been taking folate instead. And I've also added a daily baby aspirin. I normally take it about 4 to 5 times a week, just to be on the safe side. And that would help if I have something that involves blood clotting. So that was just kind of to be on the safe side. But that's my little update. I got back this afternoon. My husband's at work. I'm watching the dogs. And she's being good now. She's laying on the floor. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to make a video in the next couple of days kind of talking about my emotional journey with all of this, because with my first video blog, I just kind of talked about how just the very basic part of the story, but I really want to make one that talks about my feelings with everything. So be on the lookout for that. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Bye, guys.